Alright, welcome to day 2 of learning to play Legacy Ant. I'm going to skip talking about the deck list because I've already talked about it once before. Also, the deck list can be found at the bottom left right here. This will always redirect to whatever today's deck list is. So I've already joined a league. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, because I always do this on any type of stream, I am currently drinking a raspberry sour IPA made by Untitled Art. It's a pretty cool can. It tastes exactly like what it says it is. It tastes like raspberry and sour and IPA. Well, hello, Mr. Kai. This is the best part of the stream, action-packed. There we go. Let's play some Magic the Gathering. Alright, we've got 2 rituals, which is kind of more than I want. Some dig. Only 1 mana source, but I'm pretty okay with that right now. I think this is keepable. That all, of course, depends on what our opponent does. If we get wastelanded, things get much, much worse. Volcanic Island, go. What deck is casting Volcanic Island, or playing Volcanic Island and then saying go? Well, there's another ritual. So that's great position so far. Go ahead and get a C. And let's ponder. Let's think about it. We have a Thoughtseize, an Ad Nauseam, and a Delta. Definitely want the Thoughtseize, both to see what they're on and to possibly protect ourselves. Definitely want the Delta because we need a second mana source, and we will shuffle away the Ad Nauseam. No. Draw Thoughtseize for the Ponder, pass it back. Next turn we can do Brainstorm, shuffle, Thoughtseize. I don't remember who it was, but there was some Magic Pro who once said that if they ever played against someone who on turn 1 went end of turn Brainstorm, they would immediately say, "We are done testing." Just because the disadvantage of really only putting back 1 card. There's a Baleful Strix, so it looks like we're against a Grixis control deck. So some amount of counter magic is almost certain, but we'll go ahead and see what they've got. Ooh, it looks like a Punishing Fire Grixis deck. I have not seen whatever deck this is, but obviously we want to take the Force of Will here, and I'll pop out the cards that we've revealed that are left. And I wasn't thinking, should have brainstormed first. That's okay. I think we're still in pretty good position as is. And I would guess that he would go Brainstorm, Fetch, Preordain here. Preordain first. Kai says, you think it's what Edgar, I'm not even going to try, played at Niagara. Let's see. 4-color Legacy. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Lots of stuff in this. Kolaghan's Command. What a sweet Magic card that is. So they've only drawn one additional card. I think I like just ad nauseaming here. It's not fantastic. Let's go ahead and brainstorm first, though, and see what we see. The duress certainly helps. I'm going to put back... I want to put back stuff that doesn't hurt when I ad nauseam. So I'm going to put back one of the Infernal Tutors and the Lotus Petal. And then I'm going to shuffle those away, which I forgot I was doing. Oh no! This is why I'm learning. So I am going to duress just to make sure that the coast is clear. Thinking pretty hard about this one. They have double Brainstorm, double Punishing Fire. Discarding the Punishing Fire doesn't really do much, other than I need to keep in mind that I cannot go below 3 life. I guess I'll just take the Brainstorm. We're already at Storm 2. Ritual is 4. 5 for Cabal Ritual. This Infernal Tutor, this Ad Nauseam does not have to go far. In fact, if we're going to be at, let's see, this is going to be 3, 5, minus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. We could Infernal Tutor in response Ad Nauseam and then do 0. Oh no, we can't do 0. I'm trying to think of how to turn this Infernal Tutor to maximum onness. So, with the Punishing Fire, we can't go below 3. The most expensive card in our deck is 5, so we can't go below 8 off Ad Nauseam. So, Storm 6, 3 black floating. Get an island, doesn't hurt. Get a Misty, doesn't hurt. Get a Brainstorm, that'll get us closer, but not there. Another land, wow, we're clearing out the lands. Another Infernal Tutor. An LED would just win the game, right? There's a Reign of Filth. And a Brainstorm. Unfortunately, looks like we're not going to get there. We are going to discard a shitload of lands, though. Said we can't go below 8. What I meant was we go until we're at 8. There's the LED, so that should be it. I do not need to Ad Nauseam any further. And cast the Lotus Petal. And this will be exactly 10 of the drills. Don't even have to do, we could go further, but there's no need. Brainstorming in response, I guess, is there a Flusterstorm in the main? Let's see, looking at the deck that Kai guessed it was, there would be another Force of Will. So he would have to be getting exactly Force of... And he did get exactly Force of Will. Wow, let's see, did I skip a discard that I had? I did not have another discard. I could have gone deeper looking for the discard to protect. So that's pretty rough. I'm gonna just leave my graveyard popped out here. And mana burn for 4. On the plus side, there's not a lot of cards left in our deck, and 2 of them are Past in Flames, which we can cast with the things we have on board. Also, we've gotten rid of a bunch of lands, so we're mostly left with business. Didn't get rid of a ton of draw stalls either. The unfortunate thing, of course, is that soon he will begin punishing firing us. So he's representing 4 punishing fire damage on board. Now 2. He's going to brainstorm, which will at least one more turn without us getting punished. See, here's the thing. The trick is to never, ever, ever be punished. And given how close we are to dying here, so he's got 4, 5, 6, 7. So if he draws any other burn, any other creature, we're dead. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for this. Oh wait, no, I can't. I still need one more to start casting rituals. So hopefully he doesn't gain anything that gives him extra mana. I guess the worst part of that is I would have drawn Past in Flames off ad nauseum. On the plus side, I did not cast Reign of Filth. So now, looking for any mana source. Ha! Inquisition hits nothing. Take 3, go to 5. Well, there's the Lotus Petal, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there, so have to go for this. Given that he let Past in Flames resolve, I'm inclined to believe that he just doesn't have the counter magic. Not that it matters, we have to play like he doesn't. Storm 5. Need to keep 6 mana up. Cast the Reign of Filth. I have 2 Infernal Tutors, so Infernal Tutor is 7, get a ritual, cast it, that's 8, Infernal Tutor again is 9, and then Tendrils. That's 8. I need 6 to win. We'll duress just to make sure. He has Dack and Punishing Fire. I'll take the Dack, not that it matters. Then Infernal Tutor. And let's go get Tendrils of Agony. There we go. Got game 1. Made a big mistake and still got game 1. So let's look at my sideboard Bible. I'm going to guess there's nothing for 4-color Leovold, but Bug seems like a pretty apt comparison. Or Grixis Control. Empty the Warrens comes in. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Ground Seal is a possibility. It stops the Snapcaster Mage. Alright, what else do I want to bring in? So I think Ad Nauseam comes out because they have Burn. Going to be dealing us a fair amount of damage. Yeah, and I guess Ground Seal gets better with the against the Snapcasters with him having Dack. He's also got 4 Force, 1 Flush of Storm, 1 Hydroblast, 3 Pyroblast, 2 Surgical. Ground Seal also stops the Surgical, which is super relevant. I think I'll go ahead and bring in the Xantid Swarm. I'm going to take out a Rain of Filth, take out a Preordain, take out one Lotus Petal, and that's us set. Anyone disagrees with me, which I think it's just Kai right now, but... Alright, we'll run it like this. Again, have the search, have the tutor with the LED. I'm inclined to do my favorite greedy thing, which is go Lotus Petal, Brainstorm, Fetch, Follow-Up. We're also going second, so we will get to see what they're doing first. A Nihil Spellbomb. That gets rid of our graveyard without targeting it, so the Ground Seal is not effective against that. Cabal Ritual. Man, we've got a sweet hand here. Unfortunately, don't have the ability to get this Cabal Ritual up to speed. Up to Threshold, that is. It seems like as soon as we have Threshold, we're going to be doing really well. Alright, we got a Thoughtseize. That's going to be super sweet. Got a Brainstorm. We do have another Fetch, so I'm going to put back a Preordain and one of the two Infernal Tutors, because we're going to be discarding to use the other one. Alright, we have a Targamoyf, a Pyroblast, a Ponder, and a Baleful Strix. The Pyroblast, its primary target is our Brainstorm, which is not super important right now. We can also just like play out the Brainstorm, so like next turn he's either going Baleful Strix or Tarmogoyf. If he doesn't, then our Brainstorm we just know is auto-countered. The Tarmogoyf isn't going to be a super huge clock until he gets rid of that Nihil Spellbomb, then it's going to be a 4-5, assuming nothing... Of course, actually, I will have gotten rid of some stuff. I guess I'll go ahead and get rid of the Pyroblast. Let's play to win instead of playing not to lose. We'll pop out our revealed cards. Oh my god, I forgot that this was still turn 1. Just did so many things that turn. And here's the Tarn. I don't know why, but this bottle is leaking like crazy. And there's the Goyf. Goyf is a 4-5, representing as soon as we fetch a 4-turn clock. We have a Dark Petition. We're going to be going up to 5 off this fetch, 6 off the Brainstorm, so we're going to have... Of course, he does have the Nihil Spellbomb. Gonna have a lot to do. This Ground Seal doesn't do anything right now. At least against what they're doing. So I'll put back the Ground Seal. Let's see. So this Dark Petition is almost certainly just a 5-mana Demonic Tutor, which is not very good, because that's when they should be popping the Spellbomb. Hi, Mike! Welcome to my stream. So next turn we're looking at, let's just assume these are turned off, so we're looking at 3 mana, 4 mana. Infernal Tutor, go to 2, crack for 5, and we're at Storm 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus whatever we get. That's not quite enough to get there, especially... And it all depends on when he cracks the Nihil Spellbomb. I'm going to put the Bayou back on top, because we're pretty okay operating off 2 lands with this hand. Though I would like a ritual that is dark rather than a ritual that is Cabalish. There's the Ponder, so the only card we know left is the Baleful Strix, and he will go up to 4 cards in hand. Ouch. I'm going to get another C because, as I said, our green cards thus far are pretty useless given that Nihil Spellbomb is their hate. Of course, that means we draw the Ground Seal. That's the way that always works, right? Hello, Movidom K5. I'm sure that's not how that's supposed to be said. Movidomk 5? Could Infernal Tutor for another Cabal Ritual. That would put me at... That's pretty terrible. Yeah, we'll just continue to attempt to draw into a better answer. Wow, drew both Ground Seals. A+. Shuffler is doing very well. I'm going to pass through this turn basically on the assumption that there's not burn coming at my face, or at least not enough burn to kill me, and then just have to go for it next turn. This Preordain is really unfortunate because if the Preordain doesn't find a land, we're just dead. But I don't think we have a winning line here. We have at best a chip shot Tendrils, and then they Nihil Spellbomb, and then we have to go for a line with Empty the Warrens. So I'm again going to attempt to play to win. So it'd be sweet if I had... oh! There's the Empty the Warrens. Found it. And drew a Lion's Eye Diamond. So we're just dead. Guess probably should have gone for the chip shot Tendrils, I guess, and just hoped to get the Empty the Warrens later, but as is, we have 0 ways to win this game. Well, our guess as to what they're playing still seems right, but it is definitely not the same 75 as was played at Niagara, because there was no Nihil Spellbomb in that list. That was Game 2, Mike. We are going to Game 3. I'm going to take out the Ground Seals, because all we saw was Nihil Spellbomb. You're right, Kai, I miss those empty lines all the time, just because it's so stuck in my head, which I'm sure you're quite aware of, that I miss empty lines all the time. Interesting. Okay, if he was playing 2 Spellbombs in his list, it is not on the list that is showing up when I just Googled it, but it's completely possible that this list is just wrong. Alright, so bring back in a Duress. And I guess a Chain of Vapor, if given that what we know of their graveyard hate is that it is permanent based. Yes, if you look at yesterday's stream, you will see that I did have a game where I just like turn 2, empty for 10, you lose. I did remember empty at least once yesterday. Well, this hand does all kinds of cool things. It can this turn 1? 1, 2, 3. No, I needed the red source. I'm going to keep this and wish it had a Badlands, because it has Duress and it has all the tools to draw into a win. This video of this deck list is just absolutely disgusting. This individual is playing Black Border Duels and New Force of Wills. I thought that was grounds for disqualification. We'll start by seeing what they've got. Now watch, this is going to be like, they're going to have 6 surgical extractions in their hand. Well, there's one of them. Well, Kai, I now think that there was indeed a reason to duress here. Because now they are on 1, 2, 3 lands, a Snapcaster, and a Preordain. So they can't even surgical until turn 3. There's the C. This will probably be... Oh, they have a Thoughtseize. Been having a lot these last days of playing Ant, where I take their hate card and they immediately draw another one. Take the Tendrils. I'm guessing they're going to aim to surgical extract that as soon as possible. Kai says he would have taken Preordain. Well, let's pretend that we are 1 turn off and take the Preordain now. I always find it odd when my opponents play the land they drew for the turn, just because that gives me information. This is going to be Snapcaster, almost certainly just surgical on the Tendrils. Yep, they take the Tendrils. So we can Ritual to 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana, crack LED. That will put us at 8 mana. We'll spend 5 of that on Past in Flames, it's just a 3. Cabal Ritual to 4, Cabal Ritual to 5. Dark Ritual, 6, 7. We still don't have the search that we need, though. On a Thoughtseize, I would guess that this would take probably Past. I'll take the LED. That's also super reasonable. I guess that turns off the Past in Flames. Well, as soon as we get some business, we are really in business. So we have Storm 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in hand. Alright, they have 1 card in hand. It is unknown. We can go... Again, can't do anything. We can make a lot of mana. Fortunately, we're not really on a clock here. And the Spell Bomb turns off that Past in Flames. We're still looking at, like, if we just drew Empty the Warrens, that's still 10 goblins, which is certainly enough to get there. Let's find something. So Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm going to put that back. Actually, let's see. The Past in Flames is going to turn off. I'm going to put back the Delta. Because the Lion's Eye Diamond is great if we get an Infernal Tutor. Yeah, I'll put back the Delta. And then I'm going to get a Volcanic Island because the plan is now Empty the Warrens. This is protection and protection only. So I'm going to shuffle and draw a random card. There's another ritual. Can produce a countably infinite amount of mana. Deck needs Stroke of Genius. That's clearly the solution to this problem. Mana everywhere and not a spell to cast. We will be casting Lion's Eye Diamond next turn just to get it out of our hand if we don't draw something, though. So that's fun. Casting the Lion's Eye because he is playing Kolaghan's Command, and if he's gonna blow one up, Lion's Eye is the one I'd like. Actually, I guess that would be reversed. I want them to blow up Lotus Petal so I can use the Lion's Eye to turn Infertile Tutor into a Demonic Tutor. We're on a 3-turn clock here, and he is playing Burn. There's the Infernal Tutor. He has 4 unknown cards in hand. He has enough Burn in his deck to just kill us on his next turn. Therefore, I think just have to jam this. But this is going to be a quite large amount of mana and Storm. He's thinking about whether or not he wants to pop the Nihil Spellbomb now. We're fine with it either way. We have the mana to do the things we want to do. Obviously, he doesn't know what we're planning on doing. He knows we don't have the Tendrils of Agony. Interesting choice, because he does know that we're playing Past in Flames. He has seen Past in Flames in our hand. And I believe at this point we are down to where now we only have cards that he does not know in our hand. He'll go up to 5 cards in hand. Our Cabal Ritual will only net +1 mana. I'm not even going to use the LED on the off chance that it is something useful later, because have the mana to cast the empty anyway. He's brainstorming, so he doesn't have it yet. And there's a Force. So we are on a 3-turn clock with nothing to do. He does have enough burn in his deck to just kill us. But at this point, we are close enough to dead anyway. I suppose drawing a Past in Flames here wouldn't be terrible. The Cabal Ritual is still net +1 mana. Stopped in our draw step to Surgical Extraction, Infernal Tutor. Yeah, that seems like a really solid play. It's a blocker. Sure. Oh, no. No. Not red. Green. We live to die another day. Grove, is he going to let us gain 1 life? He's stopped in his upkeep again. Stopped in our upkeep again. He's Snapcaster. This could be another Surgical, maybe on Cabal Ritual. He could also just target Force of Will here. That would not be a terrible play. And because of that, I'll go ahead and Brainstorm. Oh man, how come he gets to cast Storm spells this game and I don't? Well, we just lose here. We could see what he was going to do, but we just lose. That was unfortunate. I guess I probably didn't need to commit as much as I did to that empty line. Could have just put like 10 in and kept some rituals in hand. Wouldn't have mattered. Probably the play I should have made just in case, though. Alright, let's queue up for the next one. So, how about that Infinity War, or whatever it's called? Endgame. Infinity War came out 2 years ago. Yeah. Who wants some spoilers? Because I have no idea. I've actually only seen 5 of the Marvel movies. And that includes some that I have been told don't count. Yes, I would like to go first. This hand is sweet. We have Brainstorm Fetch on turn 1. We have... actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can just Storm for 7 this turn. Hey Dan, what's going on? See, this is where if I had the empty main, I would just make 14 goblins and pass the turn and say, that's what I'm doing today. What are you doing? Moto, stop doing that. They have mold to 6. Let's go brainstorming. We got another land, a brainstorm, and a ponder. Don't have another shelf effect, so I'm gonna put back the brainstorm, keeping the ponder. And I think I'm actually going to put back the Volk and then draw it for the turn and then fetch. They've just gone Delta Go. This is where I really have to fight my urge to just like go for a Past in Flames line here, because if they have a Force of Will, we just are in such bad position. I said I was going to fetch, so let's do that. There's the Duress. So now this would be Storm 1, Duress, we would Ritual, Duress 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. get Past in Flames. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. So I'm gonna... Ritual Duress is really rough if it gets countered. I'm gonna draw the Duress and Duress now and then follow that same plan, but next turn, once I have a little more information. Has a Decay, a Force of Will, and a Liliana the Last Hope. Obviously, Force of Will is the thing I want there. Also, a Thief of Sanity. I don't know what that card does. Whenever Thief of Sanity deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of that player's library, exile one of them face down, then put the rest into their graveyard. You may look at and cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. That seems hilarious if he hits Tendrils of Agony. So the really unfortunate thing here is he's almost certainly wastelanding next turn, and he's almost certainly wastelanding the sea. Mike, that card cannot be the Ashiok guy because Ashiok has no gender. It's the Ashiok person. The Ashiok creature specter. Why, thanks, Dan. I actually just had my beard done just in time for Niagara Falls. He actually cut off like 2 inches, but it looks longer because that's where all the heavy part of the beard is. And he does hit the Underground Sea. Glad we left that Ponder on top, though. Take the Delta for a black source. So, he has 1 unknown card in hand. He only has 1 blue card in hand. He already discarded a Force of Will, so we have the option to go 1, 2, 3, 4, Passion Flames is 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 1 short, so we just casted Duress at some point. So that's going to be 3 mana, minus 2 is 1 plus 5 is 6, 4, 7, 3, 5, 8. Yeah, that's going to be perfectly fine. This is again where I do not actually have to crack the Lion's Eye Diamond, but I net 1 extra mana by doing so. And of course, whenever they have 1 unknown card in hand, the card is always Force of Will. So they're looking to next turn play a Liliana the Last Hope, which is going to be real bad. But after that, we're kind of in top deck mode. Of course he drew the land for the Liliana. Well, there's an Ad Nauseam. That's not nothing. Can just Ad Nauseam here. He has 3 cards in hand, one of which is known. He's down 2 Force of Wills. We are not in any hurry at this time, though, and we still have lots of discard to draw. Being worried about Wasteland is the thing I forgot to do, though. Dark Petition real bad right now. So that Liliana is only a couple turns away from going nuts. Well, Rain of Filth will help with the mana problems if we get a black source. I almost wonder if, as slow as we're going, if it would have been right for them to go one more turn Liliana plussing just to get those zombies a little more steam behind them. Or rather, to have the Liliana with the zombies. Ooh, a Leovold. That's real bad. On the plus side, Ad Nauseam doesn't draw cards. So, 10, 4, 5, 4, 6, 8... Yeah, they have lethal on board. So we just have to go for it now. The Ad Nauseam route is not great, given that we have the Dark Petition in hand, but we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 4-drops left in the deck. So we want to go. Go to 3 mana. And he's got to Force of Will. Exiling Jace the Mind Sculptor. And now we're just stone cold dead. Not really sure what I could have done differently here, other than, not play into one unknown card and respect the Wasteland a little bit more by going for things a little bit earlier. Alright, let's see, how do I want to board? They're likely to have, what, Surgical Extraction. We want to bring in Bounce and removal for the Leovold and all the... Really just the Leovold, I guess. Yeah, I think we may have had it turn 1. I would have to watch back as well. I think it's a Past in Flames line that didn't have protection. Cut a Rain of Filth. We'll just slow ourselves down a little bit. We definitely want the empty. It's 62 cards. What do I want to cut? I brought in more balance to get rid of the decay. That's mostly for counterbalance. 61 cards. Let's get rid of one of the Past in Flames. That all seems quite reasonable. And so one of the things I am doing is, in addition to streaming, I'm recording all of these locally, and then rewatching them, of course with the massive speed up, and also posting them on YouTube. And as said at the beginning of my thing, seamsgood.net/mtg-streams will go to the section of my blog with all of my stream stuff. So this has just like the thing of my dreams, which is Brainstorm and Thoughtseize. We've got an Infernal Tutor and a Lion's Idem. We have a Cabal Therapy to follow up our Thoughtseize. I'm super into this hand. This is interesting. I'm going to put back the second Cabal Tutor, or Infernal Tutor, because that's kind of nothing. I think Echoing Truth keeps us from losing. Cabal Ritual lets us win. But we're still a ways off from that. So I'm going to put back the Cabal Ritual. Fortunately, do have to get a duel here if I want to Thoughtseize. I always wonder when they take a moment to respond to Thoughtseize, whether they've stepped away or are deciding whether or not to counter. Because that's just like a head trick, like if they... I don't know. There we go. We have another Thief of Sanity. They kept the Decay, that's interesting. Brainstorm, Flusterstorm, Leovold, Ponder. This is where I'm certain if I take one of the draw spells, someone will say in chat I should have taken Flusterstorm. If I take Flusterstorm, someone in chat will say that I should have taken the draw spell. But Flusterstorm ends our ability to play the game. Actually, you know what? But with one land, and that's tough. With one land, the Ponder is really, really useful to them. So I will take the Ponder and just have to be mindful that there is a Flusterstorm in their hand. Also need to be mindful not to be playing out these artifacts, not that there's a lot of reason for it, because they do still have the Decay. There's the C. I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm because we would like to make another land drop this turn. Wow, and that's great. We have a fetch to fetch things away. I'm going to keep the Cabal Therapy, and now this is really tricky, whether I name the Flusterstorm or the Brainstorm here. I think now I name the Flusterstorm. Could also put back Truth, given that we know they're a ways away from interacting with us. They're at least 2 more turns away. I'm going to put back the Truth. And we are real close on this Cabal Ritual, so I'm going to keep the Cabal Ritual over the Lotus Petal. They're brainstorming in response, so that's probably going to be hiding the Flusterstorm. So now I'm going to name... So normally I would say name the card you fear the most, which would be Force of Will. But I would think that they would have put Force of Will back on top for exactly that reason. They may have kept Decay. That doesn't do anything, though. So I think I'm going to name Leovold, because that's relevant to our plan of finding more stuff. And if they kept Flusterstorm in hand, well, then I was wrong. They did indeed have Force of Will. Interesting. But I hit Leovold. They've actually drawn into 3 more lands. So their 4 draws off Brainstorm for the turn netted 4 lands. Give me another discard spell. That's also totally fine. Fetching in their end step looks like just to not draw more lands. There's a Preordain. Let's find something more worth doing. There's a Thoughtseize and a Ponder. I want both of these. I'm gonna put the Ponder on top, Ponder again, and get the Thoughtseize, and we'll see what the Ponder hits. This is another one of these suspicious pauses. If they Force of Will this Ponder, I might have to dance. Of course, if they Force of Will this Ponder, it means they have something awesome in their hand. Another Infernal Tutor. I want that the least. Got a Chain of Vapor. They can start casting Hate Things next turn. And the Thoughtseize. So the question is whether I Thoughtseize this turn, or let them play something and then Thoughtseize them. Because I'm shuffling one away. And the Thief of Sanity may not be relevant. We may also just be at the point where we just win if they pass the turn without playing the Thief of Sanity. So I'm going to take the Thoughtseize, not shuffle, see what they play. There's the Thief of Sanity, so presumably they have another blue card in their hand. Alright, let's talk about fetching. So next turn we're going to start by Thoughtseizing away Force of Will. Hopefully they don't have more counter magic. Then we Cabal Ritual, it's 2, 3, 4. Get Past in Flames. Cabal Ritual again, that's 6. Still not quite there. So I'm going to draw, and we're going to be bouncing this Thief of Sanity. Let's start with the Thoughtseize. I have a Flush of Storm and a Force of Will. So I guess the question there is, which one of those is worse for us? We still have quite a ways to go. I kind of feel like if this Thief hits us and they exile cards, like if they counter the Chain of Vapor on their turn, seems sweet. I think the Flush of Storm is harder to play around, unfortunately. And Force of Will, that means they're not going to be pondering next turn if I take the Flush of Storm. Do I want to bounce this? I'm also pretty cool with them filling up my graveyard as long as they don't hit the tendrils. And I know one of my top 3 is a card I don't want. So maybe I don't bounce this at least the first time. I think that seems okay. Like, I almost feel like the best reason to bounce here is to maybe they'll Force of Will it. Alright, they exile cards. So let's pull out. There's my graveyard. There's my exile. Oh, these are face down. Forgot that part. They discarded Tendrils of Agony. And Dark Petition? So they kept the Infernal Tutor for themselves. Now they're going to get a Force of Will. Interesting. So now they're up to 2 Force of Wills. They would have had to have drawn a blue card for the turn, though. I'll go ahead and bounce this now. Now I start to care a little more, now that there might be good cards they can flip. Kind of funny to me that the card I was like, yeah, take that, they did take, and it was quite good for them. That's definitely something I should have seen coming, knowing they had a Force of Will in hand. They're gonna replay it? No, they're pondering now. Wish we could add things to the revealed card zone. I know that they have a Thief of Sanity. That's a Jace. I would much rather have bounced the Jace. They are fate sealing us. They've put it on bottom. Let's go ahead and brainstorm, find something to do. Now, this empty is really interesting because really, provided the Cabal ritual resolves, we can empty for a fair amount. We can empty for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 10. I think I'm just on empty here. Because let's see, we'll have to do the mana count, but if we cast the Infernal Tutor, they're likely to counter that, and that just adds to the storm count. So I'm going to put back the Duress, because we know we're not going to win there. Preordain to get back the empty. Oh no, I didn't keep up red mana. Damn. Well, next turn we can empty for a fair amount, an amount that might be enough to get there. These last two, like, bug plus, I guess I'm gonna call them, one was Bug with red, one is just Bug, have felt like the most painful matches I've played yet, including Miracles. Then again, I also haven't played against a Chalice. No, I have played against a Chalice. These have felt like my most painful matches because they're just so grindy and slow. I guess at least when someone goes Thorn, Thorn, Chalice, you know you're dead. Brainstorming. I'm gonna guess that Decay is gone now. There's a Mire. I actually don't mind the Mire. It gives us more mana. I would have rather had like a Ritual. They are going to surgically extract. I can't even tell. Targeting Infernal Tutor, but I was gonna cast one of those as bait. And now you get to see my hand. So now that they've seen my hand, the Cabal Ritual doesn't do anything, because they know to counter that, because I don't have enough mana to cast the Empty the Warrens afterwards. Man, they have a lot of mana. Can they? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can. Not yet hardcast Force of Will. Also, the reason I'm not fetching here is because I have enough mana up to cast Empty the Warrens after the Cabal Ritual fails. They're up to 8 mana on board, so they're hardcasting one of their Force of Wills if they desire. Gonna get another Thief of Sanity? No. Yes. There's the Thief of Sanity. I feel like there's just no reason not to duress here, and just take one of the Force of Wills. Why am I doing Legacy Storm instead of Vintage? Because I feel like this is more interesting to learn, and also Vintage feels kind of herp-derpy right now. They have an Extirpate, but none of the cards we have in hand do we have in the graveyard, so kind of don't care. They also have Extirpate, Snap, Extirpate. I guess I just take one of the Force of Wills. Another reason I'm playing Legacy Storm is that I think it may be interesting to watch me attempt to slowly get better at playing a deck rather than me doing what I usually do when I stream Vintage, which is just slowly get drunker and worse at the game, or not stream at all and play like 2 matches while I'm in bed. But with an end goal in mind, I think I'm more likely to stream, Partly just because it makes it where other people can tell me how bad I am, or can see that I am progressing. And they get to hit me with a Thief of Sanity. What is the most depressing card that they could keep? Probably Dark Ritual. They dropped Cabal Writ and Echoing Truth. The Cabal Writ is unfortunate because we know that they have Extirpate. Or rather, we know that they have Extirpate, and we have Cabal Ritual in hand, and we want to use it to build Storm. As a sign of how much grindier these two games are, I just looked in. My streaming clock is at an hour 15. Yesterday, I played 2 practice matches and a full league in about 2:15. Well, here we go. I'm going to go for cast all the cards in my hand, make a bunch of Empty the Warrens tokens. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. That will put them on a 2-turn clock. They can bounce 1. They can block with Thief of Sanity, but that means not swinging with it. That is a faster clock than they currently have. And if they let Cabal Ritual resolve, neat. Makes things slightly easier. They are forcing the Cabal Ritual. Actually, thank you, because you have just increased the Storm count. Do need to be careful, make sure I use the fetches so that all of them can hit things. So this is going to be Trop, Bayou, Volk. Like, the only way I think that I'm just absolutely screwed here is if he responds to this with a click and then my Empty the Warrens is gone. Just thinking hard about it. What does he have? He has the Snapcaster. Is he wanting to maybe Brainstorm or Surgical here? And in any case, again, as long as he doesn't, like, click me, that's fine. Again, thank you for raising the Storm count. This is going to be Trop. We are actually getting every single land out of our deck. Oh, no, we're going to be 1 short. We have a... It's going to be... Bayou, and the last one will be a Volk. And we did just bolt ourselves there. But we have a 2-turn clock, and they have a 3-turn clock. Oh, I see what I forgot. That's what I forgot. I don't think at that point it matters, because they would have had that no matter what as an out. But it is something that I forgot to be aware of. Now I'm almost wondering if they're aware of it. Yeah, they do have to click correctly. We are currently on the opponent is bad out, which is a real out. Casting a Dark Ritual. It makes the Flusterstorm easier to cast, but it is absolutely not necessary. They have successfulully targeted Flusterstorm. Will they successfully cast Flusterstorm? You know what? I'm going to F6 here, and while we wait, I'm going to run to the restroom and grab another beer real quick, and I'll come back and see if we won or not. Let's click. Oh no! Oh, I forgot one thing I can do. I need to sack LED here. I can still make 6 guys. I'm pointing at which ones are targeted so I can see which ones are targeted multiple times. Oh, and they ritualed. So multiple are targeted twice. It will not let me sack Lion's Eye Diamond. That's interesting. Well, in that case, we just lose. Not that that one matters. That was... Alright, let's play a game that's less interactive in any way that means. It could be Chalice, at least Chalice, you know, the game is over quickly. Alright. Join the league match. Crack this beer. Sorry, that was apparently quite loud according to my monitor. Ooh. Join match. This is Boulevard Brewing Company Tech 9 Booloo, a wheat beer with pineapple and coconut added, named, of course, for the drink Caribou Lou, as described in the Tech 9 song of the same name. If you don't know the recipe, you take a bottle of, what is it? Take a bottle of 151 off of the jug, 1 cup of Malibu rum, baby that's what's up. Then you fill the rest of the jug with pineapple juice. I can't cast these ponders, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep this, getting rid of the swamp. So you fill the rest of the jug with pineapple juice, and then it's cracking. The only defect is waking up like what happened. Strongly recommend if you ever want to have a day on the beach that you don't remember. Caribou Lou is one of the better ways you can accomplish that. No, it's not cracking like the beer. It's cracking like, yo, what's cracking? Oh, this beer is terrible. Actually, you know, I'm not sure if it's terrible or if it's just like air conditioned in here and therefore something this fruity isn't good. Oh god, I F6'd through my turn. Un-F6. Second main phase. In our second main phase, we'll ponder. We have this duress. I'm going to guess that they are on miracles. The duress now as opposed to later really only matters if they play counterbalance next turn. Okay, I changed my mind. This beer's pretty good, but my house has air conditioning, so it's not hot enough for this beer to be good. If that makes any sense. Lotus Petal's not bad. Preordain is not bad. We already have the Ponder, though. We're kind of not doing anything yet. I think I want this Preordain, draw the Lotus Petal for the turn, and fetch away the Misty. Now it is safe to F6. Are they brainstorming at the end of the turn? This is going to be the second time that I mentioned that. Stoneforge was okay, so we're playing against a Stoneblade deck. Given that they have gotten fetches both times, that strongly indicates that it is a pure blue-white. They got a Batterskull. That's crazy. We can duress the Batterskull. That's pretty funny, if you ask me. So we can duress with our worst-case scenario being that we get Batterskull. Let's Preordain, though, see if our plans change. We already have the Ponder, so I'm going to get rid of the Preordain. And I'm going to take the LED because we already have the Infernal Tutor in hand. Let's duress. I would actually rather get a Force of Will than a Batterskull, but if we get a Batterskull, nothing wrong with that. They have Dismissal. They have a Batterskull, a Brainstorm, a Counterspell, a Spell Pierce, an Island, which will allow them to cast a Counterspell, and a Snapcaster Mage. I think... So actually, the Batterskull also gives lifelink. Huh. So the Batterskull giving lifelink is relevant because I have to go off sooner. I have a fair amount. I can go... Next turn I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't think it matters if I leave them in Batterskull. I'm going to take the Counterspell. That will leave them Spell Pierce. Oh, they're 2 turns off Batterskull, though, actually. Not just the one I'm thinking of, because they need to put it in, presumably on my end step, and then start using it. Let's ponder. Another piece of discard would be nice here. Get rid of that Spell Pierce. That's kind of like what I said. Alright, so we're at Storm 2. Lotus Petal is 3. Cabal Ritual is 4, but does not get us to where we need to go. Or does not... I need to stop saying it like that. Cabal Ritual will not have Threshold, so we would at 3 mana. We would then Infernal Tutor down to 1. Crack Lion's Eye, go to 4. That would be exactly enough for Passing Flames, but not enough to use it. That would be Storm 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we got Tendrils now, that would be 7, which would make 14, which is not enough. They can't attack with the Batterskull next turn, so let's go ahead and ponder and hope to find some more business. we could Lotus Petal Duress away the Batterskull, and then they are doing a lot of nothing. And then draw the Preordain next turn. I don't hate that. I'd rather be getting counter magic. The lifelink on the Batterskull is just such a relevant thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to do just as I described. Duress on top, not shuffle my library. I probably just brainstorm here. Oh right, they can activate. Well, we still get the brainstorm, which is not bad. Yep. Kai, you would be shocked if they didn't do that because you're thinking ahead. Which is a thing I was clearly not doing. So took the brainstorm. They have Snapcaster Flutter Strand, so they can still snap brainstorm. Now I'm where I don't want to be, which is racing. Oh, god damn it. And then I went to OK their combat and OK'd my main phase. I'm getting worse at this, y'all. It's time for a nap. It's only 3:12. If they want to snap counterspell Preordain, I'm kind of alright with that. Snap Spell Pierce instead, so I know I have Lotus Petal is what I'm drawing for the turn. That's not very good. Getting dangerously close to the thing where I have to find a loop where I Past in Flames, Tendrils of Agony, Past in Flames, Tendrils of Agony. Or I just don't even have to do math. Oh, there's the Past in Flames, though. Yeah, I really needed a non-Cabal Ritual tutor there. That all felt really bad, just partly because there was a lot of stuff I should have gotten. I should have known. Alright, well we definitely want empty. Ground Seal stops their surgical extractions, and it stops their Snapcaster Mage. Xantid Swarm stops counter spells. Massacre actually gets the Stoneforge Mystic, obviously, also gets any of their hate bears, like a Meddling Mage. And then we will just slow ourselves down. I'm going to get rid of Dark Petition and a Past in Flames. I think that's what I want to be doing. Bye, Kai. Have a good one. Yes, I would like to play first. I would like to not make nearly as many misplays this time. We have a turn 1 Thoughtseize here. We have a Brainstorm with no fetch effect. But we do have a turn to go. A turn to draw one. Ritual, Past in Flames. This hand does a lot of things. Unfortunately, it doesn't draw a lot. So I think the plan here would be to Thoughtseize. Next turn, Brainstorm. And hopefully in the 4 cards between the draw for the turn and the Brainstorm, find a fetch effect, or at least an effect that lets me bottom some of the worst cards. So we'll open up on a Thoughtseize. Captain Supreme Verdict, always quite interesting. That means they're aware of the Empty the Warrens plan. They also have an Aethersworn Canonist, a Flusterstorm, and a Spellpiercer. They have a very hateful hand. Unfortunately, I'm going to take this Aethersworn Canonist because while I do have the Massacre, them having a Canonist makes it a lot harder to find because I can't be just chaining draw spells. Really unfortunate because that means I'm leaving them with a lot of good counter magic in their hand. So for example, there's a real good chance that next turn they just go land, go, I play a Brainstorm, and they Spellpierce it. But that's also kind of like Cabal Therapy on Spellpierce. I could wait and hope to draw another piece of discard for the Aethersworn Canonist. That's pretty weak, especially given that I'm hoping to Brainstorm next turn. Just an Infernal Tutor that goes really nicely with our Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's go ahead and Brainstorm. This is probably Cabal Therapy on Spellpierce. And it is. Let's ponder Arid Mesa for the turn. So I guess they're probably looking for a Tundra. Another Infernal Tutor. That's a little unfortunate. Right now, what do we have? We have Cabal Ritual to go to 3, Infernal Tutor. Yeah, we have nothing. I suppose cracking the Lion's Eye Diamond activates Past in Flames. That would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would put the next Cabal Ritual. So if we Infernal Tutor for Cabal Ritual, the Cabal Ritual would have Threshold. But they also have Flusterstorm up, which we cannot play around at the moment. And then we've just cast a whole bunch of cards for no benefit. Well, we can't do a whole lot. This Ground Seal is actually not bad. It cycles, stops the Snapcaster Mage. We don't know 2 of their cards in hand. They can't be Flusterstormed. They don't attempt to counter it. Draw into a Delta, also nice. That's a fetch effect. Not doing anything with it now, so let's continue to draw. There's the Flooded Strand. We're down to 2 cards that we know, one of which is Flusterstorm. Alright, we're up to 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever we get, 6, 7. Alright, do we have it? Again, they're Flusterstorming at some point. We need more discard. Double fetching main, going up to 4 lands. This is going to be a Jace. Tap out. That is a Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Draw a card at the beginning of the next end step, untap 2 lands. So they're going to get to untap with that Flusterstorm. That's quite unfortunate. Let's see what we can see with Preordain. Tendrils and Empty. Those are cards that, especially with 2 Infernal Tutor in hand, we really want those in our deck. So we're going to blind draw into a Brainstorm. That's not terrible. We do have the shuffle effects on board. They also can now counter with Flusterstorm. There's a Ground Seal. That's definitely going back. Also going to put back one of the Infernal Tutors. Then we can fetch and preordain. What a shuffle. Well, we'll duress. This will let us see what they've got and also potentially clear the way. If they Flusterstorm this duress, that... Oh no, I got the wrong card. Fucking A. That's alright. We'll just continue to preordain. How does this Empty the Warrens keep being at the top of my deck after shuffling? We'll take the Ponder. We'll be looking to duress next turn. They're up to the full 7 in hand, one of which is Flusterstorm, one of which is Supreme Verdict. Supreme Verdict doesn't do a lot right now, but it means we can't be going for empty. Also means they probably have like 25 counterspells. Start with the duress. At least somewhat clear the way. Probably not clear the entire way. Infernal Tutor for extra duresses. That is a really cool idea. I really like it. Fortunately, didn't see you say that until after I'd cast Duress, because they Invasive Surgery the Duress, which leaves me with 3 Thoughtseize as my discard spells, and they have a Flusterstorm in their hand. Cabal Ritual Past in Flames. That's an interesting idea. I feel like the problem with that is if they have another piece of counter magic that's just really, really bad. So that would be Storm 2, Cabal Ritual is 3, Past in Flames is 4, Thoughtseize is 5, LED is 6, Infernal Tutor is 7, whatever I get would be 8, that would be 1 short of killing. I guess I Infernal Tutor for an LED? That's okay. That works. Yeah, hope they only have Fluster is kind of the story of my life playing Storm. Move my graveyard over here. They have allowed the Cabal Ritual. This is also kind of where it's like if they fluster the Past in Flames, that's not terrible given my hand. Fortunately, I don't have any Dark Rituals. Otherwise, if they Flusterstorm to the Past in Flames, or don't have any Dark Rituals, that's what I said. Because then I could just go through the whole thing again. No, I will not pay it. Trying to think if there's a loop there. Yeah, I don't think there's a loop with the cards I have. I can spend all of my mana to cast Past in Flames and then do nothing with it. Obviously, that's quite bad. It occurs to me, I could Infernal Tutor here, revealing the Infernal Tutor purely to reduce the odds of drawing another Infernal Tutor. I could also Infernal Tutor for Lion's Eye Diamond here. That is not bad, actually, with the Past. I'm going to do that. And then next turn, we have 6 mana for Past in Flames in addition to what's on board. I wonder if they have a counterspell, whether they would have countered that Infernal Tutor. What would be good here is Yawgmoth's Will. Well, Dan, let me introduce you to the card Past in Flames, which is like Yawgmoth's Will, except you can cast it from your graveyard. Almost no one counters IT when not Hellbent. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of just one of those, I'm like, you know, I wonder if maybe that's a good idea. I'm going to start with a Ponder here, in case I do find discard. Discard would be optimal. I don't want any of that. Except maybe the Ponder, but then I'm only seeing 1 deeper. So what's really cool I can do here is I go Writ, Infernal Tutor, LED, crack the LEDs. If Infernal Tutor gets countered, I have Past in Flames mana, I have Rituals. So I would be Infernal Tutoring there for... I could just go get the Tendrils, but I can... It's going to be 4, 5. If I go get Tendrils, it's going to be 5. Past in Flames will be 6. Ritual will be 7. And I would need a... Thoughtseize, I think. Oh, do I just get... I get Cabal Ritual and then go through the whole loop. All of that, of course, depends on what exactly they counter. I'm going to get all black with these. Actually, I will... No, I'll just go all black. That's much safer, because I do have the red. Here we go. This is very much a do you have it moment for them. They're going to Snapcaster. I'm going to guess that's on Flusterstorm. Yep. Invasive Surge. Oh, they flashback the Invasive Surgery, not the Flusterstorm. That gets Infernal Tutor. That makes this whole thing a lot more difficult. Should have gotten some blue with those LEDs, or not committed them, as Donger Franklin points out. Alright, so if I pass in Flames, I can use one draw spell. The alternative is passing and hoping to get to something later, which I don't think works. So we'll ponder because that sees the most cards. Yeah, I think I have to go for it. And they have another Snapcaster. That's going to be on Flusterstorm. Now I have nothing in hand. I have no Past in Flames left in my deck. I have no Infernal Tutors left in my deck. I need to just draw... What's that going to be? I need to draw 9, 8 rituals and a Tendrils of Agony. Let's keep playing this out in case there's anything left to be learned here. And now I'm on a 3-turn clock. I would guess the only spells they cast for the rest of this game are Ponders. Speaking of Ponders, I almost wonder if I'm supposed to stockpile these Ponders so that I can cast a bunch of stuff on one turn. Hardcast Force of Will. Handful of counter magic. Alright, we have one draw step left. There's a ritual. Well, that whole game felt really unfortunate. They just had so many cards, and that last turn, yeah, I think I overcommitted with the double LED. That was not necessary with a hand where I was going for a all Past in Flames kill. Also, having Snapcaster Invasive Surgery, Snapcaster Flusterstorm, that's... I don't know if that's beyond what I should expect, but it's a lot. Oh, man. That one feels really bad. The not overcommitting LED, I guess, is the biggest thing I learned from that, but, yeah. Feels bad. Have not felt in control very much today. As shown by, I have 1 game win in 3 matches, so that's 1 game win in 7 games. This is where, normally when I stream, I would just give up here, drink a bunch of beer, and finish out the league without streaming. But the object now is to learn, so let's do that. Let's try and learn some more. Alright, got our round 4. Tendrils of Agony in hand is rarely a thing that we want to see. We have a Ponder, an Infernal Tutor, and a Delta. The plan in this hand is to ponder into something, and that is the entire plan. That is not a plan that I want to go with. I want to do a little bit more than that. I again have Tendrils of Agony in hand here, but I'm mulliganing. I can put it back. I have Preordain, I have Duress, I have 2 lands, I have Rituals. This hand is pretty much what I want out of a 6. We'll put back the Tendrils. They open on a Verdant Catacombs. If I'm playing another bug deck, I'm just going to be just so sad. Since I think they're likely to be on a Wasteland deck, I'm going to start by getting a Swamp, which they can't Wasteland, and arrest them and see what they're on, hopefully get some counter magic out of their hand. Oh, baby. This motherfucker right here, oh god, is on Ice Station Zebra. Sorry to make you watch me do all that, but I can't not laugh at this happening. Oh god, I'm popping up all the wrong windows. With the double Shallow Grave, I don't want to take Shallow Grave unless I can get another one, so I'm going to take the Dark Ritual. Especially given that they have no other black sources. Now I kind of want to preordain this turn. Well, they did draw another land for the turn. Whew. Rituals like crazy. Like, I can't think of what they are, but there are definitely hands, definitely things we could draw where we just win. I want both of these. I'm going to Thoughtseize the Crop Rotation. I'm going to keep the Preordained to cast next turn. They could Crop Rotation in response to this. If they do that, I guess I'm left taking one of the two Shallow Graves. So that leaves them with Grizzlebrand. Obviously, I'm not making them discard that. Shallow Grave and the Dark Depths also puts them 2 land drops away from natural Thespian Staging Dark Depths. So we need to find something to do real quick. Fortunately, an Infernal Tutor is a win, as are a number of other things. So next turn they are making a Merit Lage. The turn after that they are attacking us with it. So we need to cast the card Tendrils of Agony next turn. And to that end, though Cabal Rituals are good, I will put something else on top of my deck. Unfortunately, it is an island. So now we need 2 Tendrils for at least enough to get us over 20. We have to do it next turn. Now this is where nothing I could have Thoughtseized would have mattered there. I could take 2 Shallow Grave now that I know that I had 2 discard, but it still wouldn't have mattered. Thoughtseizing us. I would think that Lotus Petal is probably the take here. Oh, they're Thoughtseizing themselves and they're going to Shallow Grave. Alright, we're just going to go F6 and watch this guy spend 10 minutes of his clock doing hilarious things. When they could have, in fact, just made a 20/20. Not that I'm one to speak about, wasting time with Grizzlebrand. Because if they get one of their 4 rituals, one of which is in the sub, is discarded. If they get an LED, if they get an LED, if they get 2 Lotus Petals, there it is. So they're going to make a 20/20. They could probably kill this turn. Oh, they have the Children of Coreless Loop. Well, if anyone has any questions how this deck works, this is a deck I do know how to play. Alright, they now have Lethal Storm. And only 20 cards in their hand. Only 27 cards in their hand. Only 34 cards in their hand. Living Wish. What does Living Wish get? Oh, Lab Man. Nice. Well then, this is kind of funny. Ground Seal, I know, is terrible against them. Bringing in Flesher Storms. The Decays don't matter. They're not going to play out the Children unless they're going to use it immediately. All these bounce spells can hit the card Merit Lage, or the token Merit Lage, and this Duress is also pretty sweet. I'm going to take out the Rain of Filth. We're not going faster than them, that's for certain. I think the Thought Seizes are pretty bad, especially given what else we brought in. We could take out a Past in Flames and bring back one of the Thought Seizes. We could probably take out Dark Petition. The Ad Nauseam, like they're dealing damage just in 20 life increments. I think this... Oh, I want the Empty for kind of a chip shot, and I'll take out the Petition. Let's play first. This has... We're ad nauseaming super early, like turn 2, and we have a Brainstorm turn 1. This is where I go, I'd love to do Lotus Petal Brainstorm on turn 1, but I'd really like this Lotus Petal to cast Cabal Ritual and do things. Turn 2, we will have the ability to make 4 mana. So turn 3, we can ad nauseam, definitely. Thought Seizing us. I would guess this takes Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam is just like such a fast kill. Taking Brainstorm. I guess, yeah, we're not doing a whole lot just yet. Here's a Dark Red. So we can go 1, 2. So we get Lotus Petal makes 3 mana, 1 Storm. Cabal Ritual takes us to -2 is 1, plus 3 is 4 mana, 2 Storm. Dark Ritual is going to be 6 mana, 3 Storm, and then we can ad nauseam. Okie dokie. I can Infernal Tutor for another Cabal Ritual. I think I want to save the Infernal Tutor for Post Ad Nauseam. I could also not Cabal Ritual here, but then I lose the Lotus Petal. I'm going to spend the blue. We got the Tendrils. That puts us close. Also puts us to 15. Let's go again. LED. That's kind of unfortunate. I guess we can go get... Yeah, we have the mana. If we get one more mana, we can Past in Flames. Already played a land drop. Now we can Past in Flames. I don't think there's any reason not to go deeper, though. Wow, now we can really Past in Flames. They're not going to be playing Flusterstorm. So I'm going to keep going on this. There's a Flusterstorm for us, and I think, as odd as it is, I'm going to stop there. So this is going to be... Oh, we can't Infernal Tutor yet. We need to go a little further. Did miss that. Come on. There's a Cabal Writ. Still not there. The Ponder, still not there. Duress, still not there. Gotta keep... Delta. Cabal Writ. Wow. Well, we're at 4. We can't go lower. I did play a land for the turn. Yeah, it's turn 2. We have 1 mana up. So we can either hope and pray that, since we have the Tendrils in hand, where did my deck list go? We've already gotten rid of the Ad Nauseam, we're not playing the Dark Petition, so we can hope and pray that we don't hit 2 out of 32, that's 1/16 on the Past in Flames. I'm going to get yelled at if I do this and lose, but there's a Ponder. I have no 3-drops, so this is the same odds. That's an Echoing Truth. Now I have to stop. Wow, how unfortunate. I think I'm just Ponder, because Ponder... No, that has to find... Ponder has to find Lotus Petal and a Ritual. So we're going to go to next turn with a ton of stuff. So let's play out these Lion's Eye Diamonds just so we don't have to discard them, which is unfortunate that we have to do that. We can also Ponder just to set ourselves up better for next turn, because we are just going Infernal Tutor, crack 3 Lion's Eye Diamonds, Past in Flames. So yeah, let's set ourselves up a little bit. They have the ability to kill us next turn. They might. Let's keep up some other stuff. We have 19 cards in our hand. Let's go to discard. I want an Underground Sea. Let me make sure. Okay, I have an Underground Sea, so let's discard every other land. This is where this is a thing that is much easier to do in paper, is discard a million cards. We're not going to be therapying or thought seizing. We're not going to be pondering. We're up to 9 cards. I don't want to get rid of the Tendrils of Agony in case they do have a Surgical, which I admit would be odd. I think we keep Flusterstorm instead of Duress, and we can't cast Echoing Truth. Well, Guy, we have both taken very long turns this game, or this match. Hopefully you don't kill me this turn. I think I have to Flusterstorm this, because I do Stone Cold nothing if he takes Infernal Tutor. And then I just have to hope he doesn't have rituals. Alright, they let it be countered. They could also have another, like, Thoughtseize. Please don't have a Thoughtseize here. My life gets so much harder if you have a Thoughtseize. Is this, maybe should I have kept another Infernal Tutor? Cabal Therapy. What do they name with Cabal Therapy? What would I have that I would not have cast? And I mean, I have the advantage of knowing what my hand is, so I would think that it's Infernal Tutor. He correctly named Infernal Tutor. I can Tendrils for... I can bounce all my Lion's Eye Diamonds, replay them. Alright, let's do this math. We have a Chain of Vapor chain that is a possible kill. Let's see. Alright. I can Chain of Vapor the LEDs, that's 1. Replay all 3 LEDs, that's 4. 2 Cabal Rituals is 5, 6. Tendrils is 7, that's 14, so we have to cast the Brainstorm also. Cannot Chain of Vapor and Brainstorm, but Brainstorm gets us to lethal if it draws any castable card. I'm gonna Brainstorm. Dark Ritual, that's the one. Suppose I should have left the sea up as the land I don't bounce, just in case. This is amazingly the second time in the last 5 matches that I have used Chain of Vapor's alternate mode. Actually don't need that last Cabal Ritual. That's a thing I think doesn't matter. Whew, that was quite cool. So now I'm wondering if I do bring in the second Pass in Flames, because it's so good against their, you know, probably 8 discard spells. I think I'm just going to run it back as is. It worked once. Ugh, another Tendrils of Agony hand. Tendrils been in my hand a lot this match. So you start here with a Duress. We've Brainstormed to Seymour. We've Passed in Flames. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I'm pretty iffy on this hand. What do they open on? I bet it's a Thoughtseize. Ritual. They're gonna try to go off turn 1. Thoughtseize will probably target themselves and get Grizzlebrand. Oh, they are targeting me. It's interesting. Interesting that they would do it off Thoughtseize. Like, I wonder what their follow-up is there. Because usually when I've, in this type of deck, when I have Ritual Thoughtseize, it's like, I have the kill, I'm just going for it. And maybe they think I have Force of Will, but, like, they know I'm on Ad Nauseam. They saw me cast that card. Taking a while. Which is another thing that's interesting. Them taking a while makes me think, oh, the Bob, okay. I was going to say, them taking a while makes me think, you know, they don't have a kill this turn. Which obviously ended up being the case. Well, we have the Infernal Tutor LED combo, so that's pretty sweet as far as things we could draw. Fortunately, we're now in 1000% top deck mode. Let's see what 2 cards they have left. A Crop Rotation, and is that an Urborg? That makes their hand a lot worse, though they are going to be drawing a fair amount of cards. I'm going to set this to Always Healed. They get a Dark Ritual, so they're going to play an Urborg, swing 2 and pass. Oh, right, they did also get to draw this turn. That is allowed. Alright. Let's see. Lotus Petal is 1, Cabal Ritual is 2, that takes us to 3 mana. LED is the third one. Is Storm 3. Infernal Tutor takes us to 1 black. We crack for 3 red, we get Cabal Ritual. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cabal Ritual is 6. Passive Claim is 7. 8. Yeah, that gets us there. Where's my Cabal Ritual? Cast Cabal Ritual. Passed in Flames. Use up all the red mana. Cabal Ritual again. Whew. Got there. That was cool. Every one of those games was pretty cool. I enjoyed every one of those games. Unfortunately, Ice Station Zebra, not a deck I expect to see a whole lot around. But yeah, that was fun. And now we have a win on today. If we win our next match, that is the same record as yesterday, except in a much more disheartening manner, as I lost the first 3. So let's sign up for this last one. And going into round 5, we are already over the time for the 7 rounds I played yesterday. Waiting. That was Say Poke Guy. Kind of want to get paired against that again, as not useful practice as that would be. Join match. 5th and final round of the day. Maybe we'll get to play. Maybe I will just have lied in a Twitch stream marker about where this round begins. Alright, matchmaking has failed. Back into matchmaking, we've increased priority. I don't think that's a real thing. I think the queue is actually a queue. And you went from being at the top of it to still being at the top of it. I suppose maybe you normally join the bottom of the queue, and this way they let you join at the top instead of the bottom, but that would only be a position of maybe 1 or 2 people's difference. Alright, we've got all the things we need to be successful. I'm going to keep this preordained first, hope they don't play Wasteland. They are going first, so we will have some indication on that, not that it will affect what land gets played first, barring, of course, the drawing of a fetch land or a basic. There's an island, so probably a blue-white control deck. There's C number 2, so we are not hurting for lands. Wait, 2 LEDs. Oh man, it might be greed time. Your Ritual LED. It's 3, Infernal Tutor is 4. You get a Past in Flames. And we're at 2 plus 6 is 8. Ritual again. We get a Past in Flames, we're at 8. Then we're at 4. Ritual again, we're at 6. Ad Nauseam. Or Inferno, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Ad Nauseam or Tutor Chain. Yeah, fuck it. Why would we not go for it? We're already in a terrible position in this league. Also, like, our worst case scenario is, like, we still have Ad Nauseam in hand and a bunch of rituals in the deck. Oh, this is not the safe way to play. I understand that. I assume they don't have Force of Will or Flusterstorm because that would have been the place to cast it. Alright. Storm 5, Dark Ritual makes 6. We can Infernal Tutor, go to 3. Get Cabal Ritual, that doesn't get there. Well, it's just Ad Nauseam. We still have 4 Lotus Petals. Actually, we Infernal Tutor for Ritual, and then Ad Nauseam. No, because we still want having the Infernal Tutor castable is still quite good. So let's Ad Nauseam. I mean, we are at 20 also. Yes, let's repeat. Yes, let's repeat. There's Lotus Petal number 1. There's a Ritual. That should be it. Of course, now our Infernal Tutors are off unless we find another LED. There's a Dark Petition. Alright, so we have 0 mana, 1 mana, 3 mana. It's still not enough for Petition. We have 4 is the largest card left in the deck. 4 is the largest card left in the deck. Oof. Big oof. So we have 3 mana. They also, they don't have counter magic. They have to draw counter magic next turn, and I gotta think we can kill from next turn. Because next turn, just Dark Petition for LED. We would go land. This would be 1, 3 mana, 5 mana. Dark Petition. Take us to 3 black. Get LED. Crack LED for red. Then we're at 6 mana. 3 red, 3 black. -5. It's 1 black. Then we cast a Ritual for 3. And then we Infernal Tutor. So that was 1 spell, 2 spells. 3 spells, LED is 4, Passive Flames is 5, the Ritual is 6. That's still not it. So what is left in our deck that costs 4 or more is we are 2 and 39, those being Passive Flames and Tendrils of Agony. I will not repeat. Play out that. And we'll proceed to discard. Turn 1 Ad Nauseam didn't get there. The double LED, I guess, hurt a lot on our odds. A Brainstorm at the end of turn. That's interesting. Are you not playing the card Force of Will? That you didn't Brainstorm in my turn to go find it? Alright. Discarding Infernal Tutor because extras of that do not assist us. We have a fetch land, so we're going to keep the Ponder and the Preordain. The Ponder and the Brainstorm. Reign of Filth is not great. It's only netting 1 mana. It's better when we're tapped out, so I'm going to say that Passive Flames gets it. Wow, can't believe we failed to get there on that. The Bloodstained Mire in their deck. Kind of want to draw a discard spell. But like, if they're on Grixis, now they're just it's just live to draw a Lightning Bolt. They're gonna duress us. I think you take... Oh, they took the Infernal Tutor. Still have the Dark Petition, and I am able to cast it this turn, going to 3 mana. We got the LED. Oh, right. Well, that is what we were intending to cast with Dark Petition. So, okay, we definitely play the land. Duh. LED, Ritual, Dark Petition, so that's going to be 3. That's going to wipe the board. Leave us with 3. We crack the LED in response. There's no reason not to. Get another LED. Yeah, that gets us there. Oof, go to 2. Oh, I discarded one of the C's. Oopsie, oopsie. Not actually irrelevant, though. Lift that up. I can't even get that to where you can see the whole thing. So maintain priority on that. Get red. Oh, you know what? Cabal Ritual nets us more mana than the LED does. Then we go Cabal Ritual. And then we go Dark Ritual. We're at 9. We still don't have enough Stormwave to get to... Infernal Tutor 4. Dark Vision is going to cost 5. Even with 3, so I need 6 left. So I'm going to get... Cannot get Thoughtseize, I'm going to get Duress. We are playing the Mirror. Doesn't matter. Whew. There we go. Cool. Hadn't gotten to play the Mirror yet. Well, I know I want the Flush of Storms. I can cut Island. Actually, Island makes hands keepable. Yeah, we'll cut the Swamp. empty. And cut out preordains. I know, Dan. I know that I've disappointed you with my lack of turn 1 kills there. I did, however, turn 1 ad nauseum, and not get there, and win the game. It's an unusual combo of events. Combo of events. They seem to be having quite a bit of trouble figuring out how they want to sideboard. Which is funny, I'd guess we're probably 70 card mirror, and they're playing Reign of Filth, which I think increases the odds that they're just on Cyrus's deck, which is the deck I'm playing. I don't know if it's more difficult to do what I did. It's certainly rarer. A turn 1 ad nauseum is, on its own, got to be pretty rare. Alright, about to find out if we just did the thing where Moto didn't know we were still connected and gives us our starting 75. Oh, we kept the Flusterstorm, so that's good. We can brainstorm. I'm going to do the brainstorm fetch thing that keeps up Flusterstorm and or gets discard. We also have Infernal Tutor Lion's Eye. That's sweet. I would guess that they're going to be making us discard probably the Flusterstorm. There's the Duress. Could also be the Infernal Tutor or the LED. Probably the Infernal Tutor of those. I still would guess Flusterstorm is the take here. You can't win through the Flusterstorm. Takes the Infernal Tutor. Okay. That was my backup guess. Fast and Flames in hand. Well, Ritual is 3. Lions and M is... yeah, we can't get there yet. Another LED in the Dark Petition. Interesting. So lacking the Infernal Tutor, I'm kind of disinclined to play the Lion's Eye Diamond, but having the Lion's Eye Diamonds, this Past in Flames hand gets great. I'm going to put back... Dark Petition and then fetch. I'm going to play the fetch. I'm going to not fetch unless I am forced to Flusterstorm something. And does this count as being forced to Flusterstorm something? I would again guess that Flusterstorm is what they take here. Because, like, taking the Past in Flames, well, I can still get it with LED. You take one LED, that seems pretty weak. The Cabal Ritual is only making 3 mana if I draw a land or a mana source next turn. Took the Cabal Ritual, interesting. It would have made the Passion Flames a little bit better because I would be +1 mana. So I can make 6, 7, 8 mana with Passion Flames, taking 5 of that, so I'd be at 3. I would Cabal Ritual, that would only take me to 4 because I would be flashing back the Passion Flames, would not have, would not have Threshold. So 1, 2, 6, 8, 3, Cabal Ritual is 4. Storm 4, 4 mana. Infernal Tutor takes me 2 and 5 Storm. I get nothing. Can't do it from there. I will be cracking one of these fetches on their turn, though. I probably counter I think almost anything I play. Oh, definitely any black card they play, because from here there's no more discard I want to hit me. Looks like they're going to be passing. I also may be on a goblins line, because I can definitely make a bunch of goblins and just put them on a 2-turn clock. This changes a lot of things. Okay. LED, that's Storm 2. Infernal Tutor is Storm 3. We go to 0 mana. We crack 2 LEDs. We go to 6 mana. We get Cabal Ritual. Go to 9 mana. Storm 4. Passion Flames. Storm 5 and 4 mana. Cabal Ritual. 7 mana. Storm 6. If nothing else, we can make the goblins. I'm not going to do all the math because I know we can make the goblins. And the only thing they could have that would matter would be Flusterstorm. Which almost makes me want to crack the LEDs for... I can't crack them for all 3 colors. It makes me want to crack leaving blue. Alright, I do need to be careful to leave 1 red up. Let's see, I'm at Storm 4. I'm at 9 mana. I have enough black mana, and I'm not even thinking through the whole line because I don't think I have to right now. Infernal Tutor is 8, for Cabal Ritual is 9. For Infernal Tutor for Tendrils, okay. Alright, did you keep Flusterstorm? He's brainstorming. Do they have Mindbreak Trap, perhaps? That's the only thing I would think you could brainstorm into. Which they would let the trigger resolve. There we go. Well, I guess one of the things that we learned today was that I'm much better at the combo mirror. That kind of makes sense given that for the last year or so I have been playing a combo deck. In fact, the reason that I moved to Ant is that we were talking about how do you make Bizarro Stormy better, and thinking and go, you just take out the Grizzlebrands, put in Nauseams and Infernal Tutors, and play Ant. So I've been playing as a similar deck, so I guess I know its weaknesses, though I don't know the strengths of my deck as much yet. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. It is 4:26 my time. I think that means it's time for like an hour nap and then Game of Thrones. The VOD will be on my website. VODs are always going to be at seemsgood.net/mtg-streams. Yeah, thanks for watching. And don't know when I'll be able to stream next, because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm trying to practice a lot and practice on stream. Probably not tomorrow, because Mondays are always the worst. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.